Good evening and welcome to Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Bill Littauer. On tonight's program, Mamaroneck Selectro may be handing out nearly 100 pink slips.
The high cost of facelifting the Harbor Island Pavilion, and Mamaroneck town officials smiling over a multi-million-dollar surplus.
Bikers to cycle our area for charity. The Mamaroneck Avenue Thruway interchange gets the blessing of village officials.
The Larchmont budget has no room for dieting, and Mamaroneck villagers to foot the legal costs in the Democrats' battle to dump the village attorney.
Those stories and more tonight on Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. First, our top story.
A drastic staff cut is planned for longtime Mamaroneck business Selectro, ITT's electrical and electronic component manufacturing plant on Hoyt Street in Mamaroneck along the rail tracks, just below the Northville gas station. Selectro will cut 90 of its 180 jobs by the end of June. It's part of ITT's consolidation at a facility in New Britain, Connecticut. The number of workers to be laid off from the Mamaroneck plant will be offered jobs in Connecticut. Just how many, though, is unclear. Selectro has annual sales of $30 million. ITT bought the company in August of '88 from a British concern. Bill?
The people who make up the budget for the town of Mamaroneck have some pretty sharp pencils. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News financial reporter Randi Norum spoke with the supervisor for the town of Mamaroneck, Caroline Silverstone, about a multi-million-dollar surplus that's been reported.
Healthy government always has a surplus because you need a surplus for emergencies that may arise. You never know when a sewer is going to break, especially in a town with an old infrastructure like this. You never know when certain unforeseen circumstances may come up. But in addition to that, the town's taxes don't come in until the end of April. But our fiscal year begins in January, so we are actually functioning for the first 4 months of the year without any income. Therefore, we're working on our surplus and paying our bills out of that surplus.
So this is not something new as far as that's concerned. This happens every year.
Absolutely, it happens every year, and we try to keep it at a reasonable level. So we expend monies out of surplus, and when we are making up the new budget, we will always allocate some of the surplus to keep the tax rate down. And the townwide tax, which is where those surplus funds would be allocated, was only 2.5% this year, so a 2.5% increase. So it's a very reasonable level that we've been able to keep the taxes.
Did any amount of the surplus have to do with the state aid as far as you might have gotten an increase in state aid, and is it going to be reduced in next year? Or?
We did have an unexpected level of state aid this year, and that's one of those imponderables. We never know how much the state aid is going to be. And the rumors out of Albany are really bleak this year. We're afraid that we're going to lose some of it this year and maybe a great deal of it next year. So that, again, is something you can't count on at all.
So the surplus probably next year will be less than it is this year.
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks, Randy, and thanks to Supervisor for the town of Mamaroneck, Caroline Silverstone, for appearing with us on Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News.
The Mamaroneck battle in Village Hall between the Republican mayor and the newly elected 3 Democrats who comprise the majority continues in court. A judge in White Plains postponed a hearing in the matter until next month. The matter is, the Democrats voted to abolish the position of Mamaroneck village attorney and prosecutor from the village payroll and have them paid by voucher. Mayor Noto fought back. Even though he lost the vote in the village boardroom, he got a court order to temporarily restore the $27,000 a year job to village attorney James Nalletti and the $9,500 a year job to village prosecutor Joseph DeSalvo. The mayor contends he appointed them, and therefore the mayor should be the only one who fires them. The Democrats disagree, and the judge will hear both sides in the controversy early in May. The mayor and Nalletti say they are paying their own legal expenses. The 3 Democrat board members who are not attorneys voted to have the village pay for them to hire an attorney in this matter. Trustee Beth Hofstetter says it's appropriate because the village attorney is party to the case and can't defend them. We'll be hearing more on this matter in the weeks ahead. Bill?
The village of Larchmont is considering a $7 million budget with a 6.4% tax hike. Most of the increased spending would be needed to pay a 6% pay raise for village employees. The village tax for a house valued at $20,000 would go up from $2,577 to $2,741.
An international flavor at an area school, and some competition for the school board seat in Rye Neck. For more, here is Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News school reporter Monique Citron. Monique?
Sure, Earth Day has passed, but there's still much to do. And on May 8th, Mamaroneck High School's Rainforest Action Group will present Paradise Lost, the Future of Tropical Rainforests, at 7 p.m. in the McLean Auditorium. Daniel Katz, President and Executive Director of Rainforest Alliance, will speak and present a slideshow on the destruction of tropical rainforests, efforts being made to save them, and how citizens can get involved. The lecture is free and open to the public. There will be a race in the Rye Neck School Board election this year. Robert Frankel, a bank examiner who has served on many school district committees, has decided to challenge the two incumbents, Frank Spadafino and Stuart Sturck, in the May 16th contest. Frankel, 38, has served on district committees on strategic planning and moving the 5th grade from Bellows to Rye Neck Middle School in 1988, and in the selection of district superintendent Frank Tasson last year. If anyone is now thinking of challenging the challenger, sorry, the deadline for filing is passed. Let's all say bon chance to Mamaroneck Avenue School for their International Day Festival, the whole day, Thursday, April 26th. Children will participate in workshops with ethnic flavors, Japanese, Latino, African, taste ethnic foods, hear folk tales from around the world, and a steel band will play. Sayonara.
Thanks, Monique Citron, our Larchmont Mamaroneck School News reporter. If you have any school news items to pass them along to Monique, and she'll be glad to use them. Bill?
It could be a recreational treasure, but so far no one has come up with a way to pay for it. The issue is the 44-acre waterfront Harbor Island Park. Planning consultant Frank Fish says it would cost $925,000 to make it attractive again. That would mean planting trees, fixing up the entrance, building walkways and parking lots, and restoring the soccer, softball, hockey, and football fields, and repairing the other facilities. An alternative would be to let a restaurant move in and make the renovation the price of admission. Chart House has made one proposal, but the village hasn't taken any action on it so far. And a new architectural study indicates that just repair of the Harbor Island Park Beach Pavilion could cost more than $221,000. So far, the village appears unwilling to spend so much money for a facility that hasn't been used very much in the past. The village board has only voted so far to spend $2,500 to make sure the building doesn't collapse on anyone.
This Saturday, another fundraiser, this one for the Fairfield Westchester chapter of the National Foundation for Ileitis and Colitis. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Eileen Deutsch spoke with the Larchmont resident and vice president of fundraising, Ellen Oakes.
National Foundation for Ileitis and Colitis is a 22-year-old foundation founded for two reasons. Number one, we are there to help patients, give them support with hospital visitations, and we also have self-help groups for the patients. We also have education meetings and symposium. The other reason for the foundation's being is to raise money to find the cause and cure of ileitis and colitis.
What does it usually strike?
The disease usually afflicts people under the age of 30. We even have infants who've been diagnosed as young as 10 months old with this disease. Primarily, it's a disease of the young people between 18 and 30 in the prime of their lives, in the prime of school, and in the prime of their work years.
What is your chapter doing this year for its fundraiser?
The Fairfield Westchester chapter is hosting its 9th annual luncheon at the Rye Town Hilton on Saturday, April 28th. We have Michael Storm, who's better known as Dr. Larry Wolick on One Life to Live. He will be our MC. Dave Maloney, a former Ranger, will also be there, along with the Darien Dinner Players, who will be performing from their current performance of Anything Goes. We have fabulous raffle prizes, including 2 tickets to Brussels, donated by American Airlines. We have weekend packages in New York with theater and dinner included, and many other prizes.
If anybody wants to get in touch with you or they want more information, what should they call? Who should they call?
They should call Beth Karotkin at 833-0318 for reservations and more information about the foundation.
It looks like a solution has been found to the I-95 ramp problem on Mamaroneck Avenue. Thruway officials say they can keep the access ramps on Mamaroneck Avenue by building a service road parallel to I-95 that would allow traffic time to merge onto the Thruway. The $2.5 to $3 million project would begin at the culvert over the Mamaroneck River and end 1,000 feet south of Mamaroneck Avenue. The effect would be to put a greater distance between the vehicles entering from ramp 18B on Mamaroneck Avenue and ramp 18A off Saxon Drive, and that reduces the potential for accidents.
We thought it would never happen, but the Larchmont Cinema has changed its movie, and Miss Daisy has been driven over to Mamaroneck. And Larchmonters have something else to look at for a while.
And our thanks to Joyce Sutherland for capturing the Easter egg hunt held April 14th at Columbus Park in Mamaroneck. A wonderful time was had by all.
And in our final Hommocks ice rink story for the season, Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Nancy St. Lifer took in the final figure skating exhibition at the Hommocks ice rink the last night of the rink was open. It also was the last night of the Spring Fling Carnival. Scores of figure skaters participated. It was a season of hard work for the young skaters as they perfected their routines to show them off the last night of the rink. The Hommocks rink is now closed until September for more remodeling and construction work that hopefully will turn it into a year-round facility. This Sunday, through the streets of our town and villages, there is going to be a charity bicycle race. I spoke with the owner of the competition bike shop, Bob Novak, about the event.
Who all will be participating?
Riders on all levels. It's open to anyone who cares to ride. We will. The first wave is the fastest, and the subsequent waves are less aggressive. And there will be a category for absolutely everyone to ride in.
For the fundraising aspect, how is that taken care of?
The Lions Club is the charitable organization that we have united with to present this event. They are providing us with manpower and a lot of the help and go-go that's necessary to make it go. The way it works, the net proceeds from the event go to the Lions Club. In addition to that, our other major sponsor besides ourselves at Competition Bike is TriStar Automotive Group, which is presenting the Lions Club with a check for $2,000, plus the lead vehicles for the event and some manpower as well.
Okay. Well, good luck with it.
Thank you very much.
Success.
All right.
The volunteer firemen in the village of Mamaroneck are saluting to a new fire chief these days. He's 60-year-old Joseph Guerreri. Guerreri is a parks foreman for the village of Mamaroneck. He was elected fire chief by the 240-member volunteer firemen at the annual Fire Chiefs Convention. And that's it for another edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. We would like to invite you to watch our news program in production any Thursday night after 7 o'clock here in this channel 36, the studios of LMC-TV. They're in the Palmer Avenue unit of the high school. We'd love to see you. By the way, if you missed any part of this news show, you can watch it again any weekday night at 5:45 and 9:45 or 10 o'clock. If you have some video of stories you think would be worthwhile for this program, bring it down to the studio. Thanks for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Bill Littauer. We'll see you again next week on LMC-TV Channel 36 when we'll have complete coverage of Larchmont Mamaroneck Earth Day activities. See you then.